Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things that we see them. And today we got a pretty good show for you guys today that we want you guys to stick around for. So please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today I want to touch on something that occurred yesterday on ESPN First Take between one Jay Williams and Stephen A. Smith. Now, for all of you that may be unaware, Stephen A. Smith has always been someone that's taken very strong positions against Kyrie Irving. As a matter of fact, it seems like his default position on Kyrie is always to be critical of him. And at times, people have kind of called him out for it. But recently, after Kyrie Irving put in his trade request to be traded away from the Brooklyn Nets, when they initially got the first reaction from Stephen A. Smith, he was the first one to say that was an idiotic decision and basically explain why Kyrie Irving cannot be trusted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Other people in media gave their 2 cents on Kyrie Irving's trade request. We immediately came out and we did a live. Actually, we did a live that was focused on this. And I'm like, what's this guy's issue with Kyrie? Like, why are you so hypercritical of Kyrie, right? And he's the one leading the way on this whole Kyrie Irving, bandwagon of people piling on Kyrie. And I was like, this is becoming just a little bit too much. Well, yesterday, during an airing of ESPN First Take, there was a segment, and I don't know if Jay Williams saw one of our shows, but he was using a lot of our points. And I think there were they were fair points against Stephen A. Smith, and they got into a very, very heated exchange that we want to play for you guys here. So before we go too far, take a listen to this exchange between Stephen A. Smith and Jay Williams from ESPN First Take yesterday, and then we're going to come back and react to what they had to say. So take a listen to that there.
I'm not saying there aren't troubles with Kyrie. I'm not saying that. But the way he's labeled just seems to be so extra with him.
Okay.
It seems like he's turned into like a media target.
Are you finished?
Yes. I thank you for allowing me to talk for a minute and 30 seconds.
Well, listen. Well, first of all, you want more? I'll give you more. I'll give you more.
Excuse me.
It ain't a minute and it ain't a minute and 30 seconds. You get plenty of time to talk on the show.
I thank you for allowing me to finish my point. Thank you.
Exactly. And after I finish, we're going to come back and make sure you get more time.
Okay.
There's a bunch of BS you talking right now.
It's not a bunch of BS.
It is
just
BS.
because you label it BS does not make it BS, Stephen A. Smith.
I said I'm calling it BS.
Okay.
I'm calling it BS.
That's your perspective.
That's right. You're damn right, and it matters. Here's the deal.
So does mine.
Good.
Just as much as yours.
It's good. Well, so you think.
No, I know it does.
I would beg to differ.
I know it does.
I would beg to differ. Now, when you bring up, Jeff Bezos, you were absolutely right. Not a single soul disagreed with you. What we said was, not only did you jumpstart it, but a whole bunch of people brought up that Jeff Bezos still left that film up, okay? That was that purportedly anti-Semitic. Excuse me, what kind of traction that gets? So when you talking to the world and you bring up Jeff Bezos, who makes about $70 billion a year, okay, you criticize him. Take the film down. He didn't do it. Now what? All you could do is point out what the issue is and then go from there. In Kyrie's case, you're a player. And you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Who doesn't? We can't knock you for that. But the reality is that he's looking to cash a check. Bezos is cutting checks. Those who have the gold make the rules. We hate it. We don't like it, but it's reality. So you coming on national television whining and moaning about that, I get you because you're right. No. I'm not insulting you.
You just insulted me by saying I'm whining and moaning about it.
I'm whining and moaning at Jay.
Come on, man.
Because you want to be ultra sensitive. I'm whining and moaning about it. I'm saying to you, it's right. You're right what you're saying. But the point is, it doesn't change the reality that is not what's going to get the headlines.
First off, I'm not the one.
I don't deny that.
I'm being sensitive.
I don't deny that.
But you're the one that seemed very emotional.
Oh, my God.
In the subject matter, Stephen A.
Go ahead, Jay.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, Jay.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, Jay.
I'm not sitting up here on national TV absolving Kyrie Irving of every decision. I'm not going back and recounting every decision. I'm just saying how it's interesting to me. It just carries such a bigger momentum, in particular with you, more so than anybody else.
Jay, you know what? What I would ask you is do me a favor. Stop telling us what you find interesting and just tell us what you feel.
No, my job is to be interesting.
You say, I find it interesting. You always say that. Say what you're saying. What are you saying?
What did I just say?
What are you saying?
What am I saying? I just said what I'm saying, Stephen A.
Which is?
And I'm not allowed to say what I find interesting?
Of course you are.
But like once again,
I invite you on the show to say what's interesting.
He thinks you're too preoccupied with Kyrie, too hard on Kyrie.
Did I Bridget Kyrie Irving last week before he demanded a trade? We were talking football. How many times have I mentioned Kyrie Irving over the last few
I
weeks?
don't seem to be the one being triggered right now.
Well, I'm always triggered.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you are not.
Okay.
I've seen you.
No,
I watch your
problem.
show every day.
So what
All
do
right,
you?
are we
I work
talking
with
about
you.
Kyrie or is this personal?
It
seems personal.
I don't want it to be personal.
What seems personal?
So-
It seems personal for you.
For me with Kyrie?
Yes.
You
1,000,000%.
You of all people with all the interest you have got the nerve to sit here in national television and tell me I'm getting personal with a player? I don't lose no sleep.
I didn't say you lose sleep.
I don't lose any sleep
I
over
didn't say
Kyrie
you
Irving.
lose sleep.
I'm passionate about the subjects I'm passionate about. I don't accuse you of getting personal when you take the
You
position
have
you
accused
take.
me of getting personal.
Oh my God.
You have,
All
Stephen
right.
A.
Can I go on the court?
I'ma leave it
Can I go on the court
I'ma
real
leave it
quick? Because
alone.
I'd like to.
Basketball.
Because when we
I'ma leave
started
it
off,
alone.
We both got a lot to say.
all right.
You do?
Yeah.
You do?
Okay,
Just say
guys.
it, Jay.
So you heard the exchange between the two gentlemen there. Here are my thoughts. I think Jay Williams took it too easy on Stephen A. Smith. I think that Jay Williams should have turned up the temperature on him in terms of his energy level. Stephen A. Smith was getting tight at Jay Williams. He was getting upset with him, and I think Jay Williams should have returned that very same energy right back at him. I don't think he had to bite his tongue, spare him, or anything like that, because Stephen A. Smith absolutely was not going to do that for Jay Williams, number one. Number two, I think Jay Williams should have said some direct things. Like, what's the issue? I'd have been like, the issue I have with you is that you're always picking on this guy. Every single word that comes out of your mouth is always negative. And the way you like to cover up your constant criticism of him is you start off with this nonsense of, oh, we all know that Kyrie Irving is a great talent. We all know he's a special player. You say all of these things just to preface what you actually say. So for somebody that's always telling people, I feel like, instead of telling us what we already know about Kyrie Irving, which is he's a great player, why don't you get to your point, Steven? That's what I would have said. And if he had said, do you have anything else to say? I would have been like, yes, I do. And I would have spoke my mind. Do you know why? Because Stephen A. Smith has no problem doing it. Now, I don't know that if maybe Jay Williams was a little bit trepidatious because maybe he was on his show, so he didn't want to show him up on his show. But if you ask me what I think, I'm going to tell you exactly within the lines. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to call you a moron or anything like that. No, I'm not going to do anything like that, but I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. He essentially tried to bully Jay Williams, but the points he brought up were 100% valid. Stephen A. Smith always is angry with Kyrie for some very oddball reason, for someone that doesn't seem to matter to you in terms of whether or not you know him, whether or not you don't know him, and all of these things, whether he speaks to you or doesn't speak to you. You seem to always have this type of visceral reaction to the guy. Why is that? If you're going to take these strong positions on him, then don't be surprised when there are people in the opposition that are going to take strong positions against you and call you on it. What's the issue? As you say, we're all big boys here. Let's put on our big boy pants. I think Jay Williams went way too easy on it. Way too easy. I would have told him exactly what I thought in a very straightforward, respectful way, because it's still his show. Stephen A. Smith is still in his 50s, so it doesn't give you a license to now go out there and start insulting the guy. And no, you don't do that. But you absolutely say what you got to say, right? And for Stephen A. Smith talking about you sounding sensitive, he was the one making fun of the way Jay Williams spoke and all of these different things. He was the one doing that. But the fact of the matter is, Stephen A. Smith has been pumping this narrative out there for a very, very long time, which is number one, Kyrie Irving is untrustworthy. He cannot be trusted. No team would want to lay a finger on him. He better stay in Brooklyn, be quiet, work, and do all of these different things to guarantee that he gets a job. That's one of the reasons he said what he did was idiotic, because he was one of the people out there saying that the only people that want Kyrie are the the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Brooklyn Nets are the only ones willing to give him a contract because of the relationship that he has with Kevin Durant. But then when he puts out a trade request and then 4 teams just pop out of nowhere, the Clippers, Suns, Dallas Mavericks, and the Lakers, he was like, I was wrong about that because I thought nobody else wanted him. Bro? But you were so quick to jump to conclusions, and that, I believe, was Jay Williams' point. You got all of this energy, you ready to jump on top of this guy, and you didn't even do your due diligence on him before you took a position on him. And I believe the position that Jay Williams represented is one of many people out there. in my personal view, I think he was a little bit too nice to him. I would have said what I thought. If you don't want to bring me on the show, then don't bring me on your show again. It just means that you don't want anybody to take a strong position against you. Then no problem. But if you ask me what I think, I'm going to say exactly what I think. Period. Stephen A. Smith is hypercritical of Kyrie. Hypercritical of him. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.